Hello and welcome to the Jill Lublin Show. I am so glad you're here today, and you'll be happy too, because I have a friend and marvelous colleague named Nancy Matthews. Nancy is actually, she's the head of something called the Women's Prosperity Network, and literally brings all of her corporate experience in more than 20 years to a women's organization that she co-founded. And she's also the author of The One Philosophy and multiple other books. Nancy is an amazing speaker, presenter, and author. And today she's going to give you some great tips about her extensive, wonderful experience about being in business. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Jill. I am delighted to be here with you and with all of your audience today. So I'm excited about what will come up as we dive into the conversation. So thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You know, I know you're really big on something you call the One Philosophy. What is the One Philosophy?
So the One Philosophy is a way of being the one for others. And here's what happened for me. So I've always believed that every single person I meet, there's some reason for it. There's a synchronicity in that moment that's there to discover. And so I've always had that premise. And then I realized when we think we're in the presence of someone who's the one, you know, your next best client, referral partner, or your spouse, you know, whatever that is, that as human beings, our behavior tends to shift a little bit if I think you're the one. So if I think you're the one, I place more value on you. I listen more closely. I pay better attention. Like I give more to this experience if I think someone's the one. And when I had this realization, it felt actually a little yucky, to tell you the truth, because what that means is if I think someone can do something for me or benefit me, I'm treating them better, because that's what the one is about, right? So I just started an experiment, and this goes back over a decade, of treating each and every person I meet with that same excitement, interest, and enthusiasm if I knew they were the one. And what happens as a result of treating each and every person you meet the one is, you know, opens up. People feel valued. They feel heard. We're responding to people's most basic need. And that in turn creates a beautiful connection based upon, you know, mutual interest, consideration, and authenticity. And business explodes. So much good happens. So that's what the One Philosophy. It's a way of being, and being the one who treats every person they meet as the one.
So it's really about respecting everyone as the most valuable person you meet. It's about being present, right, in each moment.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Well, I've always, you know, knowing you for many years, noticed that you actually do walk and talk what you advise others. So congratulations on that. That alone is a congruency that I just find so marvelous. And frankly, some people really lack. So super on that, right? Feels good.
Well, yeah. And thank you for saying that. And I do my best to be present, to honor the people that I'm with. And here's the other thing. I can't always do that. Like, especially as, you know, a business leader and a speaker, there can be groups of people that want your attention all at the same time. And because I'm committed to being fully present, like if I'm at an event, people might come up to me, oh, Nancy, you know, I have this one question. And if I'm pulled in 12 directions, I'm not giving them the focus. So here's a tip for everyone. And that is, when you notice you can't give that full attention, just call it out and say, oh, I would love to speak with you right now. I'm distracted because I'm handling blah, 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 whatever that is. Let's set a time so we can talk about this further.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. You're honoring them still, even though you can't give them what they want in that moment necessarily.
Well, and I find, you know, and you know this too, as a speaker and in front of a room, everybody feels that they're, in a way, your, shall we say, best friend, or that they know you. And then all of a sudden, I don't know about you, but that, oh, I just have a small question, or I just have a question, is never just a short question. And for me, that's a tip to people is, you know, in a way, don't say, oh, I just have a short question if that's not really true, right? We want to be forthright with our requests. I have something that might take a little time is more of a good question to ask someone. Don't you think?
Good tip. Good tip. Yeah. And I think that when that's happened to me, the person that comes up to me actually thinks it's going to be quick, but it's not. Or maybe Jill, you're like me and you want to give a thoughtful response to their question. So it might be a quick question, but the answer is not so quick, right?
Right. I think that's a real funny, but I've always laughed at that because people always say, oh, I just have a quick question. I don't know that there's any such thing. And I think what you just said was really, really the right response in that, yeah, it's a quick question for them, not a quick answer.
Right. And that's because the reason that it's not quick is we care about the answers we give. We care that we have all of the information. So we wouldn't actually be doing the person justice by just coming up with something off the fly, typically, unless the question is, where's the bathroom? Right over there. That I could tell you quick.
That's an easy one. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that as founder of a Women's Prosperity Network, you're in business with your sisters. So it is a family affair. Will you tell me about what's that like?
Oh, it's beautiful and wonderful and easy. I am really blessed beyond measure that I'm in business with my two best friends, my two sisters. And here's one of the things that has it work is we have different skill sets and different strengths that allow for the components of running a business to be handled effectively. Like if we all had the same skill set and personality types, it probably wouldn't work. But because we have a blend, that's where I think it works out. And then the other piece of it is we have very clear agreements and a commitment to open communication. So like if there's a hiccup, if my sister ticks me off or I don't like the way she said something, we just talk about it. We don't leave things festering. And that's, particularly in a family/business dynamic, if there's something festering, it's not only in the business now, it's in your family life. So anybody out there who's in business, I would invite you to be sure that you have some really clear agreements on communication. What's that, saying about a married couple, you never go to bed angry? Same thing in business. Don't go to bed angry.
Yeah, or I think this is really actually great tips for any business, whether you're in family or business or not, although I think it's probably multiplied if you're in family. But I found if I don't say something in the moment or close to the moment, sometimes I have to cool down or think of a thoughtful response that's compassionate or kind, right? As opposed to reactive. Because, listen, as business owners, we are all pulled in multiple directions. As entrepreneurs, we're running numbers of hats, right? So I just think what you just said is such great guidelines for anyone in business, right? Communicate quickly, have clear agreements. Beautiful, great tips.
You pulled it out of me, girl. I don't know.
I love that. Now, I know you've been running Women's Prosperity Network for how long now?
12 years. We started in 2008, thousands and thousands of women, and it's a beautiful thing. I am so grateful. I feel honored that this is the job I get to do. Like it really feels like an honor to work with so many amazing women and some pretty awesome men too. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge the wow men that are part of our community as well. And it's a privilege because the common denominator of the type of person who, is in our community is someone who's really wants to make a positive impact in the world, in their community, and they know that in the laws of the universe, giving and receiving are the same energy. So we get to support them in messaging, marketing, and amplification to illuminate them and put the light on them so they can go serve more people. It's
So
really
beautiful. Well, I've been blessed to be at your events, and they are so powerful. I know you're doing so well virtually online, just really supporting all of your members to enhance their business, to stay in business, to pivot properly. And I just really want to congratulate you on what you keep creating and staying ahead of the game. So I'm just curious, your vision for Women's Prosperity Network going forward. What are you creating?
So I'm creating a massive army of impact focused entrepreneurs who are committed to excellence, making a positive difference, and supporting each other. One of the core philosophies, so Women's Prosperity Network, the culture is the one philosophy, and people can feel that the minute they come in. Like you know, Jill, you've been to our events since the beginning when we started, and there's a feeling of being welcomed. People often say, the first event I came to, I feel like I'm home. Right? Like these are my people, because we live the one philosophy. We treat everybody like that. And then the other piece of it is, the other philosophy is what we call co-opetition, and that, all ships rise together. That we can, you and I, Jill, could do something so similar, but not perceive it as competition. We would see, how could we collaborate? How could we co-create to serve that person even better with our variety of skill sets and things that we offer? So those two things allow for expansion in a beautiful way. And our mission is to have people realize that you can build a successful, profitable business on kindness, profit on kindness, just by the way, on kindness, on doing the right thing, on doing what you love, and have the money follow. Really does.
I love that. Thank you. And I love the work you're doing. You keep going, girl.
All right, you too, my friend. We're in it together. Have been for a long time.
Absolutely. More to come. And if people, and of course, they're going to want to connect to you, how might they do that?
Go to womensprosperitynetwork.com, and you can connect with us through there. You could also go to my personal website, nancymatthews.com, and there's all kinds of free goodies there to support you at whatever next level you're looking for. And may I say that if there's only one thing you take away from this interview, this amazing opportunity and conversation, is get out there and be the one. Whether it's the person at the supermarket, at the gas station, at a restaurant, treat everyone you meet with that next level of value and attention, and see how your life transforms, because you get to be the one that reminds them that they matter. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for that. And I appreciate you. And thank you for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. I'm Jill Lublin. Go check out JillLublin.com. And I want to leave you with something from Profit of Kindness, my newest book, and that is to practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. We'll see you next time.